Welcome to American Dreams. My guest today is Kevin Kremer. Kevin, welcome to today's show.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks for having me.
So, Kevin, you're a dentist, but you also mentor other dentists in the field. Could you share the story of what led up to you wanting to help and coach other dentists?
Yeah, actually, it kind of came on to me organically. And I think having that mindset of continual growth, where when I graduated from dental school, it wasn't the end where, oh, now I know everything I need to know to be a professional. It was, okay, what else can I learn? And looking at areas of the industry that are going to have the most significant impact, because I really believe that our recompense and what we receive, or our level of abundance, is in exchange for the value we provide to society. So I learned a lot of advanced techniques in cosmetic dentistry and implant reconstructions and started performing that. And then I said, well, to go along with clinical skills, you need to have a great facility that represents your brand. Okay, so we built our dream facility. And then to have that, we have to have, go along with the clinical skills and the great facility, we have to have great customer service. So we started learning about the Ritz-Carlton approach and ladies and gentlemen, and calling our patients our guests and training our teams on that. And so as we developed our craft in this industry and dentistry, other people started talking, and some of our sales reps would come into the office and go, hey, a doc over there was talking about your guys' way of doing things, and they're really interested. And so other dentists started coming and say, hey, could you just acquire our business and help us run it? Because you've developed these clinical practices, you developed the service. And along with that, we also had the business side of looking at the running the business and managing the financials, where we look at both the customer, the culture of the team, and the company in a relationship where all three of those are winning. Other dentists started requesting if I would acquire their business and run it for them. And so it happened organically, and then it started growing and building from there. And from that, we realized, well, people from other industries would ask me questions, and that these principles of business success apply to all industries, not just dentistry. And sometimes you can pick up pearls and nuggets from other industries because people are looking at things from a slightly different perspective. So that's how it kind of got into overall business mentoring and coaching, and also coaching individuals, because, as you know, Alan, some people might have a thriving business and have really good financial success, but then they're really struggling maybe on their physical health or their personal well-being or their relationships. And so making sure we keep a balance in those areas, so there's total abundance and where we want to be in life. That's different for everyone.
You know, you as you've gone through this, I'm sure that you've been able to learn a lot. In fact, I understand you have a book coming out called Quantum Accountability. And what exactly is quantum accountability, and how do you see it being applied in leadership?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, regardless of whether we're in healthcare, dentistry, or any other environment in business, success comes really down to our mindset, and it comes down to our belief systems and where do those come from. So we build that mindset based upon how we grew up, who we're around, maybe our mentors, which our primary mentors in life are our parents. And then as we grow, who we choose to spend time with, our peer group, the other mentors we choose, and then the knowledge we choose to take in and develop what we believe to be as truths, which dictate our direction or actions we take in life. So our levels of success and all of the choices we make in life are basically foundationally built on our mindset. And quantum accountability, the quantum is that it's non-physical. It's the things we can't see, which are those thoughts, the conversations, and that forming the culmination of that mindset. And the accountability is starting with understanding we have to take ownership and responsibility for that, because our actions we choose in life are based upon what our mindset is. And it's up to us to be successful based upon that premise.
What are some of the most common struggles that you encounter?
Well, if you look on a basic level and look at like different types of mindsets, some can be effective and some can be ineffective. So, for example, Carol Dweck would talk about a growth versus a fixed mindset, or we could talk about people who play the victim or in like a scarcity mindset where they're constantly talking about, oh, poor me, the struggles, this didn't work out, versus a growth mindset where you take an obstacle and you look at, okay, how can I solve this issue and turn it into an opportunity, right? So a lot of great successful entrepreneurs have found that gap in life and in business on, okay, what does the population, what does the customer need that is not serving them right now? And if they fill that gap, then they create lots of success and abundance.
In recent years, debt has become a major issue for dentists, particularly the new ones. How do you help them work through that issue?
It kind of goes back to basic premises. If you look at like Dave Ramsey versus other mentors on, is debt good or bad? And some people will argue, oh, you should be debt free. And other people would argue, well, if you look at really scaling and growing, then there's good debt out there. So the best type of debt, as we know, Alan, is investing in ourselves. So whether we're going to professional school like dental school and getting into debt for that, or postgraduately, if we're going on and going to different coaching programs or this or that, we see that investment as a good thing. So if we get a good return on investment, meaning we take that debt for self-investment and we turn it into really productive, successful outcomes by contributing to society, then it's a great investment. So for young new graduates, for young professionals, it's about helping them see that the value in that. And so they can actually continue to invest themselves and not have a mindset where they go, oh, I've got all this debt, now I just need to work. And then if they freeze there and they stop learning and growing, then their career, the course of 10, 20, 30 years is going to be significantly different in the value they provide.
So in the concept of taking the leap from dental practice to business ownership is often daunting to me. But what are some of the first steps you advise dentists to take when considering this transition?
Well, it's like anything else in life. It's getting knowledge, it's gaining knowledge, it's learning and growing. So what you're reading, what you're feeding your mind as far as knowledge, it's that discipline in choosing not to watch a streaming movie and actually reading a good book. And then it's also the people, the network, who you're spending your time with, your peers and your mentors, and going on just like learning dental trade, learning business principles, whether you do a traditional MBA program or you align with business people and you're learning it outside of a traditional school program, it's that gaining of knowledge.
And what are some of the significant influences that have impacted your leadership style or philosophy?
Well, I think when you look at the business principles or the rat race, as some people will call it, is like that constant growth in as achiever types, where we want to continually to contribute more and do more and grow. Sometimes people become very, very successful financially. They make a lot of money, and then all of a sudden they stop and go, well, wait a second, what do I do now? And then they spend all their time figuring out how they're going to give it all back. So it's kind of finding that balance in life and knowing that business success and thriving in that realm is really important, but also as you understand, a man of family, is also having balance in your relationships and your family and your sense of spirituality or religion, and having looking at the whole level of abundance, I think is really important. Not just let's really be successful in business and then realize, oh, we can't take that with us,
When you're working with individuals, first of all, how do people find you if they like to work with you, Kevin?
Oh, they can find me online, Kremer Leadership Institute, KremerLeadership.com, or my personal page is KevinKremer.com. It's KREMER, and then they can get access to a pre-launch sign up for the book that's coming out. And so Just searching my name.
You do a lot of speaking in the areas of mentorship then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do public speaking, and then I coach individuals as well.
Very good. All right. Well, Kevin, I appreciate you being with us today on the show.